Hey guys, all right, so let's talk about what is that indulgence really costing you? And how is the cycle really creating a lag in you making improvements? So, you know me, I'm all about treats, I'm all about planning treats in, and I have no problem with treats. But what I often see is there's a cycle that exists where we make progress, right? We're doing good, we're making progress. And we might hear these words in our head: you've been so good, you deserve X, milkshake, cake, whatever. And you eat food that might be higher in calories, higher in carbs, whatever, and then your weight shoots up the next day. So you step on the scale, your weight shoots up the next day, you feel super defeated, you had been making progress. And then instead of doing all the habits and behaviors you know are helpful, you might let the scale screw with your head. And it then goes from a temporary blip up on the radar to a very long time. And here's what I mean by that. I was having a call with a coaching client last night. She had one of those days, and it was 10 days later, and her scale weight still had not returned to where it was before the day of having treats. But because I have detached emotionally from the scale, when I have a high carb or high calorie day, I know I lose about 5 days of progress. What I mean by that is day one, my weight shoots up 2 pounds. Day two, my weight usually is up 4 pounds. And then days 3, 4, and 5, it's receding back to where it was. I've taken the emotion away, treated it very scientifically, tried this under several different situations. It's always the same. So I know that if I choose to have an indulgent meal, high calorie day, I lose about 5 days of active progress. And I can make that decision, right? Do I really want the treat? Is it worth losing the 5 days? But if you're somebody who is new to this, or you have not gotten traction yet in your own journey, you might have had a couple good days or a couple good weeks, saw that you were starting to make progress. You did the same thing without that personal knowledge about what your body is going to do. And then when you see it go up, you tend to maybe freak out a little bit, and you tend to drop your guard on doing the habits that you know got you to that place to begin with. It might be that feeling of, oh my God, here I go again. I can't make any progress. Now my weight's up again. What's the point? And it's a self-defeating cycle. So instead of it only being a 5 days of time that you're losing, you might be like my coaching client, losing 10 or 11 days. That's a third of a month of progress that you could be making. So when we think about these indulgences, she said sometimes it's really hard in the moment because she hears herself saying, oh, you've been so good, you deserve this. And she feels this, desire to have it in the moment. And I said to her, you have to remember, it's not that one treat. It's the third of the month you lose because your weight goes up, you're upset with that, and then you tend to drop the ball on your behaviors. So now in a month, you might get 2 good weeks, and you might have a week and a half or almost 2 weeks where you're not making progress. And so when you're thinking about those indulgences, I use this example with her. I said, if somebody offered you, let's just say, $10,000 to buy your business today, would you sell it? And she's worked very hard for her business, and she's like, no, because she knows that yes, she gets the cash payout of 10 grand today, but then she loses all the money-making ability of that business for years and years to come. And what you have to remember is if you're in that very delicate area where you have not gotten consistent ground with your weight loss, it's more important right now for you to make and build momentum, for you to test how these days actually play out for you. Like, okay, today I'm going to a birthday party. I'm choosing to have the cake. I'm choosing to have a more calorie dense day. I'm going to see what happens, and I'm going to chart it and treat it like a scientist so I can learn what my patterns are. It took me a long time to realize my weight went up the first day, it doubled the second day, and then it started to recede down. It's kind of like a bell curve. And I did this over and over again to really become detached, learn, so that way when I go into those situations that are more indulgent, I can make it from an educated place. Do I want to lose 5 days? Am I okay with this investment of time? Or is this maybe not worth it to me today? Do I need to build some momentum for myself? I'm really checking in, but be very aware. There's a lot more that goes into weight loss than I had high calories today. It's also the how does the scale affect you the next day? Do you stay laser beam focused on your habits and behaviors? Or if it's up, does it allow you to kind of unwind and you make this even take longer? Really be honest with yourself. And so my client and I came to the determination, if she chose to have one of those high calorie days, she would opt to stay off the scale for about 5 days and just focus on her habits, because seeing the scale after that was creating a situation where she wasn't making good decisions for herself. It was messing with her head. It was getting in the way. And if we could just turn it around in 5 days, like what it would be for me, it would be so much better for her, because then she could pick up, move on, as opposed to 10 days later still feeling like she's floundering because she couldn't mentally get over what the scale was saying. So I hope this helps, because I want to make sure that we understand when we're talking about weight loss, it's about time invested, right? It's about making sure we're mentally strong and healthy. It's making sure that we're making decisions from a place of education and self-honesty, and really thinking through the long-term ramifications of what we're choosing to do. The treat is not the problem. It is the maybe not being completely honest with yourself about what the treat's going to cause to happen on the scale, not being completely honest about how you're going to feel about that, not being completely honest about the fact it might interfere with your healthy habits that will actually get that scale to go back down, and repeating that process over and over again to the point where you're kind of piddling around with the same, say, 5 or 10 pounds because you're not building that momentum we just talked about. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions or need any other help, let me know. And please, please, please subscribe, like my please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because the more of you that are here pushing it around, it helps other people find it and get a little bit of sanity in this whole weight loss world. All right, I'll talk to you soon.